It's a funny thing looking at Nintendo games. Nintendo is something I don't talk about very often on this channel. I guess first I'll give you a little bit of background as to why. Me and Nintendo haven't always had a great relationship, not for any other reason other than their completely inept ways of handling their content basically across all platforms. Back when I first started this YouTube channel, Nintendo decided that their creators program was going to rule how YouTubers made content. And so what that program was is you had to go to Nintendo, sign up, do all of this stuff to become a Nintendo official creator. And then Nintendo would take all of your money and give you pennies on the dollar for your work if it included any Nintendo related content. And by the way, you had to mark every single Creators Club video as a Nintendo video or else they would copyright claim you entirely. And in the process of doing all of this, they took all of the videos on YouTube that used Nintendo gameplay, trailers, commercials, it didn't matter what it was, and claimed every single one of them, going as far sometimes as to strike down certain videos. How'd their creators program work out for me? Well, on 1 million views, I remember receiving 97 cents. So, yeah, let that sink in for a second. And eventually, I realized that there was no way to make Nintendo content without essentially operating as an employee of Nintendo and handing them every dime possible. Worse yet, I realized every Nintendo video I made at the time was a risk because Nintendo could come after me at any moment, and it just wasn't worth it. And eventually, they got rid of that creators program and they've loosened up a little bit. But the risk is always there with Nintendo content of claims for trailers and all of these other things. And most importantly, beyond all of these realities, I slowly realized that there weren't a lot of Nintendo games I was playing for long enough to make videos about. I don't really care if I don't make a dime off of a video. That doesn't bother me so much. What bothers me is giving all of the money to Nintendo, especially if I'm making a video imploring people to dig deeper into what they're being handed. But one franchise I never personally stopped playing, one franchise that has never done anything but bring me joy throughout my life, is Animal Crossing, and another is Mario Kart. So both of these games got mobile releases, Mario Kart Tour and Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and both of them are operating on different ends of the spectrum, or so I thought. Mario Kart Tour is an absolute train wreck. Sure, some people are having fun with it, but the majority of people have seen it for what it is, a microtransaction-fueled mess of nonsense. They're doing things like putting the 200cc race mode behind a subscription service. Yes, Mario Kart Tour does offer a subscription service. There are loot boxes, there are microtransactions galore, and all of them are in your face constantly. And I know there are going to be people that say, well, I haven't spent any money and I've enjoyed myself, and that's wonderful. That's great for you. It doesn't make the product any less scummy, however. But one game that for a while was kind of free and clear from the more nefarious tactics was Pocket Camp. See, Nintendo has changed over the past generation. The Switch has introduced a new Nintendo, a Nintendo that's modernized in ways that most people probably wouldn't have loved them to, and taken steps backwards in ways that people expected them to. Nintendo still can't figure out how to launch a basically only social game like Mario Maker 2 with the ability to play with your friends, yet they certainly can figure out how to release paid DLC all of a sudden for their games. Paid DLC is not bad, by the way, especially not in the case of things like Mario Kart 8 or Breath of the Wild. The point is that they figured out the best ways to continue to make more money in the ways the rest of the industry has, but forgotten to continue to move forward like the rest of the industry. Their online service is still not great. It lags far behind its competition. Their network services in general lag behind the rest of basically the world's technology, and they're still woefully obtuse when it comes to providing people with the things and the minutia that they expect from modern video games. Take the good but slow to change Pokemon franchise as an example. Games made by Game Freak, but in control of the big N. Their foray into mobile has slowly shifted as well, from things like Super Mario Run, which turned out to be something that didn't make them as much money as expected, to what we've gotten this week with Animal Crossing, a franchise that's essentially known for providing you with hop in, hop out, pay for what you get gameplay, which I guess in reality is what Nintendo was always known for. But my God, if Nintendo hasn't managed to EA and Activision their way into a new low with their mobile foray. And what concerns me, and what we'll get to, is what this might lead to in the future, because it's something that can very easily make the leap off of our phones and onto our consoles. But I'll get there. Let's talk about what's going on here. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp was a fine game. A fine game that didn't need not one, but two new subscription models. Let me tell you what those subscriptions are really quickly. The first subscription is $8 per month. $8 per month, which, by the way, is more expensive than Apple Arcade, which is a subscription service that provides you access to dozens and dozens of full games, almost all of which, by the way, are higher in quality than what you're going to get with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. But I digress. $8 a month for 5 fortune cookies. What is a fortune cookie, you ask? It is exactly what you expect. A thing you open and don't know what's inside before you open it. What's that sound like? You got that right. Loot boxes. For $8 a month, you get 5 loot boxes, and those will be a random item. Sometimes it's a couch, sometimes it's clothing. It doesn't matter. The point is, you're gonna get 5 of those. It also gives you access, by the way, to fortune cookies that are no longer in the game. So now here's content gated behind the subscription service, and then you will also get more space to store items. Now, I found out about all of this through my friend Jordan, who you'll actually hear from. But I think this is the same thing as Fallout 76. This is an example of problems that only exist for the sake of monetizing them. This is something that Jim Sterling, for example, talks about all the time. And when he does, he is almost always spot on about it. What do I mean by that? I'm going to talk about the storage space. Storage space in games are problems that are created to be monetized. 110%. If you are paying for the luxury of storage space, that is a decision that's made simply for the sake of monetization. At any moment, the game could have given you more storage to begin with. Since they clearly knew you would want more. By knowing you want more storage, they're going to gate that behind money. What that means is that these decisions are being built into the game. A lot of people ask, well, what's the big deal about microtransactions or subscription services? Just don't buy them. They don't affect my gameplay. That's where you're wrong. They absolutely do, and this is a prime example of that very reality coalescing into something you can tangibly engage with. Even if you don't spend $1 on Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, you yourself are left with less storage that you want and need simply for the sake of it being monetized for other people. The game could be better if it offered you more of that thing, but instead you're getting less of that thing, so other people are forced to pay for it. Again, something Jim Sterling mentions all the time. But let's move past all that. There is a second subscription service, just in case your mom's credit card doesn't have $8 a month on it, or you're afraid that will get recognized on the statement. There is another one called the Happy Helper Plan. This is a $3 per month subscription service. And essentially, all you will get is 60 Leaf tickets and a Happy Helper. Now, let me talk a little bit about Leaf tickets. See, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp used to almost exclusively utilize in-game currency, and over time, they kind of washed away that in-game currency in favor of a premium currency. This is something Jordan, who we'll talk about, knows because he has an Animal Crossing channel. These are the decisions that are made that lead to monetization, the washing away of that in-game currency in favor of premium currency. And you might be asking, well, what is that Happy Helper they're promising? Essentially, that Happy Helper will do things for you while you're not playing the game, which you don't need me to tell you if you're watching this video. Completely defeats the purpose of Animal Crossing. Well, they'll help you around town, finish things up for you, pick things up for you. They're your helper. You know, in a game that's all about picking things up and helping your town, they're gonna pick things up and help your town, so you don't have to. I guess what Nintendo wants you to do is pay so you don't have to play their game. And I guess if you're in a position where you want to spend $3 to have something else or somebody else play the game for you, I guess maybe the game isn't very good. Maybe it could be better. Let's put it that way. And I think what's more suspicious about this, especially for the people that have played it more hardcore, I've only played Pocket Camp in passing. And by that, I mean, I engage with it every once in a while. I've enjoyed it, but it's not my day-to-day activity when I whip out my phone. However, what everybody said that I've talked to is the exact same thing. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp became more and more of a chore as the game went on. It pushed you more and more to taking out your phone and engaging with it, which is a manipulative tactic that almost all not so good mobile games engage in. But But by doing this, by making it more of a chore, by forcing you to get into it more often, now they're giving you a chance to not have to do that. So by making the game more of a time commitment, they can charge you to make it less of a time commitment. These things are terrible, and they're especially terrible in a game that is so cartoony, in a game that begs to be played by everyone of any age, by gamers and non-gamers. It is reaching into the pockets of people who probably don't know the difference between a microtransaction and a regular video game, or a mobile game and a PS4 game. And that is the behavior of EA. That is the behavior of Activision. It's not the behavior of a company that's always been about the consumer. At least that's the way they've approached themselves. We're reachable. Look at us. Nintendo Direct, Reggie Fils-Aimé. You can see us. You can see who we are. We'll talk directly to you, and we'll also gouge you for every dollar. But I maybe am not the expert here, so I'm going to let the expert talk. You know, the guy with the Animal Crossing channel?
Tyler, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm not an Animal Crossing channel. I'm just a channel that occasionally likes to talk about Animal Crossing. A lot. A little too much. But yes, like you and I have stated both in our own separate videos here now, that this is a bad sign for Nintendo. This is a bad look on Animal Crossing, and heck, this is a bad sign for things to come in the future. As someone who's been a big fan my whole life of Animal Crossing, who has played every single entry of Animal Crossing, and who is salivating at the lips, at the mouth, at the teeth, I am foaming up like I have rabies for this next game coming out in March of 2020. Seeing something so nefarious attach itself to something so innocent and charming and fun is just disappointing. No, Animal Crossing is not without its faults. Yes, there's stuff like Amiibo Festival, which we choose not to talk about because that's just a bad look for the whole series. But strictly in a mobile sense, one, it's already a mobile game that already has predatory issues, but was kind of lackadaisical about a lot of things in it, which is fine. You're hard-pressed to find any mobile game out there that's free that doesn't give you an option to buy microtransactions or pay to turn off ads or some sort of way to pay for something, but still offers it to you for free. But with a game like Animal Crossing already having these microtransactions in the game to let you speed up the process of building furniture and pieces for your camp, to then on top of that, now 2 years later as part of the second year celebration, to now offer a subscription service, two subscription services, is beyond a point of defending. Honestly, I can say I'm both blindsided and not surprised at this because, like we've said before in this video, Mario Kart Tour for your cell phone, mobile device, whatever you want to call it, already has a subscription service that is dumb and stupid. And in the back of your head, you shouldn't be thinking like, oh, yeah, next they're going to go after Animal Crossing, but now I'm worried they're going to go after everything. Hey, you want to continue playing Pokemon Go? Hey, we're going to make sure Niantic makes sure to charge you for the game now. Or it gives you an option to get features that should be free or shouldn't be a perk because of the subscription. And the funny thing is, I'm not even mad about the $8 subscription because yes, while that is a ridiculous price, it is more expensive than a lot of other things and it really doesn't offer you a lot aside from, hey, your crafting time is faster, you get access to this journal, you get storage space, and hey, here's 5 loot boxes a month for free included in your $8 subscription. I'm more mad about the $3 subscription and how predatory that little subscription is, because you do get 60 Leaf tickets a month, which you can spend to speed the process up, which you already have faster crafting time. So it's kind of a double positive, negative, I don't even know what you'd classify that as. And then having a designated helper, which can be any animal that is in your camp, be helping you do what the game is supposed to do. The point of an Animal Crossing game, or specifically Pocket Camp, is to tend to your camp. Ask what do your campers need, build stuff for your camp, do things for your camp. You are the reason that that place exists. But now it's giving you an option to have a helper do it for you while you're not playing, so when you get back, it's like you did stuff without doing any of the work, defeating the purpose of Animal Crossing in general. The fun isn't seeing, hey, what all happened while I was gone. The fun is doing the stuff to then watch it grow. And the fact that it is only $3 is a small enough amount where someone is going to get the subscription service, because with this one, they offer you that 1 month free option. The other one doesn't have that. This one has a 1 month free option to try it out. And guess what happens at the end of that? You start using some of these features. You kind of like it. Hey, maybe you're really into it. But then at the end, it's like, hey, you want to continue that? You want to continue all this little fun you're having? All right, business 101, supply and demand. You like that? Give me $3 now. You have to. Within the first 10 minutes of just playing Pocket Camp as it is, it reminds you twice that you can purchase Leaf tickets. I can only imagine what the game is now with this new service being launched, how in your face it is to get a character to designate for your camp. Like, come on, you got to do it. It's only $3. Hey, you want fortune cookies? $8. I can just imagine that. But for that little $3 amount, that's something that you could easily forget about, because in a couple months, like I said, Animal Crossing is coming out for the Switch with New Horizons, a full-fledged Animal Crossing game that most people are going to be paying attention to and playing that because you can take the Switch anywhere. Why would I care about my phone game when I have the Switch and I can play it on my TV or on the go? And then that $3 charge just kind of keeps rolling on over. You just forget about it. And before you know it, that's $36 a year being pulled out of your bank account that you're not even paying attention to. Worse if you're paying the $8 and not paying attention to that, but the $3 subscription service is just enough to go, oh, what? $3? Who's just $3? Whatever. But that's all I really have to say on this. If you want to hear more of my opinions, I made a video about this whole thing the other day. Go check it out on my channel, Batteries Low. I make a lot of gaming content, mostly related to Nintendo, but we talk about a lot of other stuff there as well. Thank you for having me on, Tyler, and well, back to your video, whatever this is.
Well, guys, you've heard from the both of us. I think now it's time for you to tell us what you think. What do you think of Nintendo's mobile games? I think I guess, most pertinent question is, what game, what franchise can Nintendo put into a mobile game that would get you to actually pick up your phone and engage with it? And what would you want that game to be like if you have an idea of what it should be in general? Let me know the answers to any of those questions down in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. As always, if you enjoyed this video, press the like button. If you've not done so, also press subscribe. Put out more videos each and every week. And next to the subscribe button is a little bell. As always, as I say in every video, that little bell, just make sure you're notified when videos actually come out. So press the little bell and the subscribe button. Also, Jordan has a gaming channel too. He is the Animal Crossing expert here. If you want more information on Animal Crossing, Nintendo games, stuff like that, that's more his forte than it is mine. You can check his channel out, Batteries Low. Great stuff. And until next time, guys, I'm out.